What is going on, Moto friends? If you follow the channel, you've probably seen that I own and ride a 2023 Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro. I've owned this bike for almost a year now, but have mostly been riding on back roads and highways. I did take it on a short fire trail once, but that's where my off-road riding experience ends. This motorcycle is incredibly capable and it would be a shame not to use it to its full potential. You can check out a full ownership review with key features and specs in the link above. I want to ride this bike like the guys in the Triumph promotional video. I want to do some jumps on dirt roads. I want to skid my back tire. Also, it'd be great to do some water crossings with my friends. Skid my back tire some more. Do a long climb up some dirt mountains. And maybe even see a lizard in the wild. But I don't want to kill myself. That's why I decided to find a class that could teach me these skills in a controlled setting. If you live in the United States, you're probably familiar with the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. They're best known for beginner road riding classes, but they also have a section of their website dedicated to off-road and adventure riding. I decided to find a local class through their website. I'll be leaving a link to this site in the description if you're interested. Once you're on the site, just scroll down until you see a map of the United States. If you're watching from abroad, I'm sure there's something similar where you live, and if there's not, just come visit me and we can do a class here. Once you expand the map, just zoom into whatever state you're in and click on the closest class. For me, the closest class was about 2 hours away in Virginia. It's called DC Dirt Camp. I'll also be leaving a link to DC Dirt Camp in the description below if this happens to be the closest site to you. As you can see here, they offer dirt bike training, adventure training, and then they also do some special events and rental. But for me, I was most interested in their adventure training, so I registered for this class, which cost $350. You can see here that they run the Intro to Adventure class once per month in 2024, and you can bring your own big bike. But they have other options as well, including clutch-capable classes and beginner classes. The ride to the class takes about 2 hours, and luckily there was no traffic really early in the morning, but it was really cold, about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, so I had to bundle up in extra layers, long underwear, jeans, sweatpants, a puffer jacket on top of my motorcycle jacket. But I was lucky to have my buddy Ryan along with me for the ride. He and I have been riding for a few years now, and he's riding a 2023 Yamaha Super Tenere 1200. Really great bike, and eventually we're going to do a video comparing the Tiger 1200 and the Super Tenere 1200 in a shootout style video, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing something like that. We traveled mostly on Interstate 70 west through Maryland and then connected with Route 340 into Virginia. This is one of my favorite parts of the ride, crossing the bridge over the Potomac River into Virginia and into the Harpers Ferry area. You can see here it's a really beautiful view above with the river and the rocks below. You can also do river tubing here in the summer, which is a lot of fun. By this point in the trip, it was starting to warm up already and the sun was coming out, so it was a much more pleasant ride, so I had a chance to enjoy some of the scenery. Take a look again at the Potomac River with some of the beautiful rock formations. Once we got to the class, we had a chance to check out the lineup of bikes. The first two are loaner motorcycles provided by the class. That white Honda, I'm not sure the model, so if you know, please tell me in the comments. That is a Yamaha Super Tenere, followed by the white motorcycle, which is an older model Triumph Tiger. Then you have the green and white, that is my baby, the Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro, followed by a BMW GS. No ADV class would be complete without one. That is the Triumph Tiger Explorer, which is the larger version of my motorcycle, and then behind it is another Super Tenere. I was really surprised by the number of Super Teneres in the class, and also really surprised not to see a single KTM. The class started on flat ground with a focus on getting to know the balance point of your motorcycle. The goal was to take your bike off the kickstand and walk all the way around it while only touching it with one hand. You can see one of the instructors demonstrating it here. I was able to do this exercise, but it was a lot harder than I thought. These ADV bikes are quite heavy, so it's important to get a feel for the balance point. The next exercise focused on getting a feel for the friction zone of your clutch while balancing and walking your motorcycle in a circle. Again, this exercise was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. This is not something I had ever done in the past. By this point, I was getting really exhausted from holding the motorcycle up at slow speed, so I was super happy to start riding. In this exercise, you work on getting a feel for accelerating and braking on low traction surfaces. They had us accelerate quickly and brake quickly on a small gravel surface. If you're trying this at home, make sure your motorcycle is in off-road mode so that the rear ABS and traction control is deactivated. This is the same exercise, but in the opposite direction, and watch closely, I almost eat shit here.
Outside, down.
I think I got distracted by the instructor here, so I gave the bike a little too much throttle on the turn and almost lost the back end. Really glad I was able to save this one. After doing a bunch of drills, the instructors decided to give us a little break and cool down, so we went for a 20-minute ride on some of the back roads in Virginia. Really beautiful scenery here, so I'll just let the video play. My buddy had a little drop here because his pant leg got stuck in the kickstand while he was trying to put his leg down. But he's really strong, so he got the bike up and we kept going.
Hold on, let me help you. You got it?
When we got back, it was time to do the final exercises, which were by far my favorite part of the class. In this first exercise, we have to go over obstacles, so they laid down some logs and planks in the middle of the road. The first two were quite easy to go over. The last one looked like a 6x6, so I don't think I was confident enough to go over that one yet. Maybe next time I do one of these classes. The key to going over these obstacles was to load the front end of the suspension by pushing down prior to arriving at the obstacle. Then, once you got to it, blip your throttle to lift the front wheel slightly so it could go over the obstacle. The back wheel would just follow naturally. The second time around the course, we had to go over a large gravel patch, which is a very low traction surface. You can see the handlebars jumping around here. The key here is to put your weight over the back tire to maintain traction. It's also really important to have a smooth and steady throttle hand without accelerating or braking. And again, the sharp left turn here. The key when going uphill in a turn is to lean forward and put your body weight forward as you accelerate up the hill. Coming up here is another interesting part of the course, the sand pit, which you saw in the thumbnail. The key here is to again have a very steady throttle hand and to maintain weight over the back tire. And as you're moving, do not chop the throttle, do not press your brakes, or your back tire will sink and you'll have a really hard time getting out of the sand trap. In this portion, we're slowly climbing a hill using good throttle and clutch control. Once we're at the crest of the hill, you have to come to a complete stop, and when doing this, put all your weight backwards so you don't fall forward. The final part of the course here is called the maze, which is a test of your slow speed maneuvering. The key here is to properly use counterbalance while using proper clutch and throttle control to go around the course. Overall, this was an excellent course that I would recommend to anyone riding motorcycles, not just ADV riders. You never know what your ride will bring, so it's important to get comfortable on low traction surfaces. As an aspiring ADV rider, this course taught me a lot of the basic skills that will serve as the foundation for future trips. In the future, I'll be making more in-depth videos about some of the concepts that I learned. If you like this type of content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so I know what you guys like. And as always, thank you for watching.